Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the FPL PubCast, the weekly live stream every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, where we preview the upcoming FPL game week. This game week, obviously, being game week 11. In this one, we're going to go over our teams from game week 10. I think we actually all did all right. I may be misremembering that. Looking at our teams for game week 11 later on, and Kanji is on a free hit. We're also going to talk about when is the best time to use our chips, free hit, wildcard, whatever chips you may have remaining. We're going to talk about the merits of taking of taking hits, as in transfer hits, and me and Darius have got quite different views on that, so we're going to have a little bit of a debate. And yeah, and have a look at the fixtures. So we're without Trigger this week. He will be back next Wednesday. He's not on Saturday either because he's off at a chess tournament. I think he's in the airport listening to this, actually, flying out to the north of New Zealand. So good luck to Trig there. But joining me, I have Darius, one of my normal co-hosts. How you doing, Darius?
I'm good, Gary. It's been a while since I've actually been on the podcast. I'm normally on the lock-in every single week, so it's a bit weird. I was like, because I said to the missus this morning, I was like, I'm going to be waking up this morning. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I know. Hey, finally let me back on the podcast. Can you believe it? So here I am, folks.
And joining us for the second time from the Form is Temporary podcast, Kanji FPL. How you doing, Kanji, mate? Nice to have you back.
Hello. I'm doing amazing. Thanks for having me back. I honestly can't wait. This is going to be one of the most interesting game weeks of the season.
Yeah, and you're on free hit, and we were saying before we went live, you're quite excited after Liverpool's performance last night.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's the perfect marriage of, Man City being, looking great, Haaland's in his prime form, and Liverpool are just completely underrated at the moment. So it's a perfect marriage to take their free hit.
Well, we'll get into it. Okay, just say hello to a few people before we start. Hello to Supreme Leader, FPL Sparta, FPL D-Unit, Smith, Podner, how you doing, mate? Hippie, we have got your team in. I managed to fit it in the slides for Darius to have a look at later on. Joseph, hello, mate, from the tropical turquoise seas of the River Mersey. Lovely area. Matthias, Kevy, Chris Woodstock, Combe, enjoyed my appearance on Juice. Thanks, Combe. Yeah, it was good. It was good to be on there again last night. Yeah, I have been to the barbers, Kevy. I just got a complete shave off. And Starvey. And hello, Alex. Okay. So a bit of admin before we start. So for this month, all the money that we raise from the stream is going to go to two charities. Basically, what I'm going to do is at the end of this month, I'm going to give all the money we've raised so far to the two charities for Christmas, which is obviously December, when homelessness and stuff like that is very much, support is needed. So those two charities are Mind and Street Card United. Any money we raise from super chats or advertising revenue will go to the charities, but you can also check out the links in the description below if you'd like to donate to them directly yourselves. Please like the stream to help get it out there, and subscribe if you are new around here. And okay, let's get into it. So first team, I'm going to move my mic a bit so I can actually see what I'm doing, is Darius. And you're bottom of the pile this week, mate, but you didn't have a terrible game week, did you? So Darius is on 76 points. He is, I'm not sure if it's up or if he's gone down. Is it up to 5.2 million, Darius?
Yes, we went up. We got a green arrow. It was one of the weird ones, Gary. We were obviously here on the lock-in, and it was such a good week on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the Sunday happened, and it was like a bit like down to reality. It was just it was an unusual week. Let me
just throw for your team, mate, before you talk through it. Yeah. So because you were ecstatic on Saturday, weren't you, after winning our bet?
Oh, it couldn't have gone much better.
Pope with 3, Burn with 1, Gabriel captain with 24. Mukalele 1, Sar 3, Rice with 13, very nice. Bruno Fernandes with 5, and Burma with 2, Semenyo with 2, and then Mateta with 9, and Haaland 13. Yeah, so talk us through it, mate. You were so pleased because you didn't think Haaland could outscore Gabriel, did you?
No, I didn't. And look, to be honest, it's just I actually think that this week and the last few weeks in particular, it shows that FPL needs a few key changes next year. There is no reward for being different at all. And let's be honest, the people that pick Haaland and say, oh, you're an idiot for picking someone else. I would have to ask this question to all of them. Did you have fun picking Haaland as captain, knowing that 68% of the game was picking Haaland as well? Like when he returns, you're not getting much enjoyment out of it. On the Saturday, when Gabriel returned and got 12 points, I tell you, that was biblical because you're like going, oh my God, this is brilliant. And you're like, you worked out, you go, well, Haaland has to score at least 2 goals. And then what happens on Sunday? He scores 2 goals. You're sitting there and you're going, what is the point? Like, what is the point? Like, they want to create a game that's meant to be, different, fun, engaging. Last season, I had a YAM chip. It added fun. It added spontaneity. It added difference because people were torn. Do you just go the safe route and try and pick your Arnie slot? Or do you take the risk? This season, there is no reward for taking any risk at all. It's just pain if it doesn't come in. And also, when you look at it as well, like other people, and I did a thing on it today in my own video, like, do you go with the lower owned player or do you just go with the higher owned player? Because there is no reward for going with the low owned. Like, there isn't. And it is biblical when it comes in, and it can come in. But unfortunately, this season, it's not been particularly in those assets like the Gabriel, the Haaland and stuff like this, it's just all been the player that's the high owned. And there's no... I feel like this season, you look at most people's teams, they're all exactly the same. There's barely any difference. And not only game week 10, last season at game week 10, there was so much, the teams are so different. And I think that's the disappointing thing of FPL this year. It feels really boring because it feels like if you just don't go with what everyone's doing, that there is no reward. And I feel like last year, at least with the AM chip, it encouraged difference. And people that went different actually went really well last year. Whereas this year, there's just everyone that does seem to be going different. I mean, like, obviously,
was definitely the differential captain. And I'll put it like this. If you think about it tactically, Bournemouth have conceded 3 goals against Palace, the other good attack they played against. They conceded 4 goals against Liverpool, the other good attack they played against. Areola came out in the press conference and said, I don't care how many goals we concede, as long as we score more goals than our opponent. That should give you enough reinforcement to tell you, hey, like, I'm going to make this a basketball-style game, and Holland's definitely going to be getting at least 1 or 2 big chances in the game. So this didn't really feel like the week to back against Holland, personally.
I mean, it was weird because I take that on board. Like, and I looked at the Gabriel captaincy and I looked at it, I was like, oh, right, they're playing Burnley. Arsenal have not conceded over 1 XGC except against Man United all season long. And Burnley are not going to be scoring goals. So I was like, God, if he doesn't score a goal, that's automatically Gabriel's on 6. The way Arsenal have been playing this season, he's probably getting DC, so that's 8. And if they keep the score to around about 2-0, he's probably getting bonus, so that's 10 points. And then I was like, if he gets an assist, then he's going to get, or a goal, he's going to be on for a big one. And all of that happened, and he still didn't beat Haaland.
Yeah, like that's the crazy thing about this season, right? Is like, you got the differential right. Like, you literally picked your second highest scoring player or your third highest scoring player, and it still wasn't enough to beat him. And it's just like, it shows you, like, this just wasn't the week to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Joseph Robbins saying in the chat, however the rules are, however they change or don't change, the aim is always the same. Russell to conspire and plan to finish on top of the pile. I quite like that. I quite like that comment.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's just, I just looked at it and I thought, if there was a week to do it, and I thought the Bournemouth would defend a little better than what they did in that game, and it was a very open game. And Kanji was right; it was a basketball game. Having said that, though, now that I've actually thought that at the start of this week, I had Haaland captain this week against Liverpool because I was like, Liverpool are defending very poorly. But after I've watched Liverpool in the last 2 games, and I watched the highlights yesterday, Real Madrid barely had a chance. And I would say that Real Madrid is a better team than Manchester City right here, right now. So now I'm thinking maybe Haaland is takeable on again this week, because if Liverpool show up like they did against Real Madrid and Aston Villa, Haaland's not scoring more than 1, I don't think.
It's interesting. You haven't captained Haaland for 5 weeks, but he currently is your captain. But we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that later. I was a bit surprised when you sent me your screenshot. So next up is myself on 82 points. So I'm up to 470k, which is the best rank of the season so far. Petrovic 2, Gabriel 12, Timber 6, Richard 6, Fernandez 5, Semenyo 2, Minter 9, Enzo 2, Saka 3, Mateta 9, and keep Captain Haaland 26. When I was on Juice yesterday, they keep playing the sheep sound. I'm pretty happy with the game week. So I wildcarded 2 weeks ago. The Arsenal boys doing what they do. Petrovic obviously was never going to keep a clean sheet. Richards got 6, which I was happy with considering we thought he might be out mid-game week. Fernandez continues to frustrate, well, not frustrate. He's got he's coming in with a regular 4 or 5 points, but I read earlier today he's hit the bar 3 times this season. The 2 missed penalties. I mean, the haul's got to come. Semenyo, it really doesn't matter, does it? Because everyone's got him. Minter is the star of my wild card. He's got the equal most assists of any player in the Premier League this season, which surprised me, to be honest. Enzo is a bit disappointing again, but with his fixtures, I'm not going to take him out. Saka, again, a bit disappointing, but again, with Sunderland, I'm not going to take him out. Mateta,
big chance for Saka.
I know,
on the weekend last week.
It was frustrating. I was saying on Juice yesterday, should I be pleased as the owner that he's getting in the positions to score, or frustrated that he's missing? You know what I mean?
I mean, he's I don't think he has a goal in I think his last 1,000 minutes in the Premier League from open play.
Yeah, I talked to Gary about this in that game when I said that Trossard would beat Saka, and I was pretty confident he would. I mean, it shouldn't have happened. Saka should have definitely beaten him, but he missed a couple of sitters. But for 10 million, if you're buying him, it'd be like the Haaland captaincy. If you're buying him and you're playing against Burnley on the weekend, why the hell are you not captaining him? What's the point of owning him if you're not going to captain him at 10 million against Burnley? That tells you all you need to know about Saka, I think, this year. Because I think if that had been me and I owned him, I would have captained him.
Do you think he's back to full fitness? Because he's carrying a lot of knocks over a long period of time, isn't he? Yeah.
I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that's an issue. I don't think fitness is an issue for him. I mean, he's been playing lots of minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, he's been staying on long, isn't he? Apart from the other
it's one of those things where when you're playing, there's a difference between fitness and sharpness. It's he's lacking that killer sharpness that we've seen in previous versions of him and previous seasons. So once he gets that back, imagine if he had scored a brace last week, then we would be talking differently about him, right? So
yeah. You see Nightmare in the chat there. See you later, mate. He's got to have a nap, and I did see Trig in there earlier as well. Hi, mate. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy anyway. 470k is decent for game week 11, heading into game week 11.
Mate, Gary, you and D-Unit have completely opposite teams. If you look at the structure, it's becoming more similar after D-Unit took some hits, but your team is way more template, Gary.
Look how disappointed he looks in that comment.
Just look at Gary's team is literally FPL reviewed. This is not Gary's team, let's be honest. This is an AI algorithm team spat out. That's his team.
I'm not going to agree with that, but we do have very different ways of playing, don't we, Darius? I am much more template.
Yeah, I would agree. But if we sat there and said, Gary, you can't use review, I'd love to know the team he came up with, because that would actually require him to put in a few calculations and try and work out who the best players are, and I reckon it'd look a lot different.
Yeah. So top of the pile this week, and doing best in the rankings is Kanji. I'm just dismissing you this time, Darren. 360k in the world. It's a good start to the season. Well, we're sort of are we still start? We're not really, are we now? We're sort of moving start middle-y. Rayo is 6. 86 points. So Rayo is 6. Richard 6. Virgil 5. Gabriel 12. Anderson 6. Ndai with 9. Sabozlai with 2. Semenyo 2. Fernandez 5. Gyökeres 7. And Haaland captain 26. Did you want to talk us through it? I don't know if you want to say, because we could probably talk about why you decided to free hit later, but how did you find this game week?
This game week was good. So first of all, let's start talking about defensive structure, right? So there's a lot of conversation about, okay, double Arsenal defense, they're the best defense in the world. So surely we want to have two of them for the long term, at least Gabriel for the long term. Good to see D-Unit finally brought him in and he got some just rewards this week. And so the thing is like, if you go for somebody like Raya, what it allows you to get is Van Dijk in that second premium defender spot versus like if you go for Timber, then you can't get to a Liverpool asset defensively. I think it's a little bit too much money in the defense. So that's why I think for me, I really like the Raya, Virgil, Gabriel combination. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know. I don't really think I want to get to a Liverpool defender yet, but in 3 weeks' time, maybe. Who have they got? Is it? I'm trying to remember. They've got the next 2 game weeks.
How many tips have you used, Kanji? What tips have you used?
I've used them all. So I used, I think, wildcard game week 4, bench boost game week 5, triple captain game week 6, and now I'm going to free hit next week.
How many points overall you won?
Damn. Just give me a second. Overall points is 636.
Why does it matter how many points he's got? I've seen people asking people this. It's like it's reflected in the rank.
Yeah, I get that, but hold on. Let me just double check something really quickly. So I'm currently on 528. So he's 108 points in front of me, and he's used every single chip. Yep. So I need my triple captain to get me 100 points, and I'm back in business. I reckon I've got a good shout of catching him in the next 8 weeks. No, I think Kanji's in a great position. And I remember when I was in game week 12 last season, I wildcarded. That was the first chip I used, and I was 150K. And that set me up for the top 10K for the rest of the year was that wildcard. And I think you're in a very good position. And I think potentially, if I'd had my time again, I would have played a lot more chips by now because I feel like the people that are at the top at the moment and have used their chips are going to stay there because this year's template is way stronger than it was last year. Like almost everyone has the same team. And I think the people that have played their chips early and are at the top I think they're going to stay there. I think it's going to be so hard until Haaland gets injured. There isn't going to be much movement because every man and his dog's going to captain him. And the only way that's going to change is if he gets an injury. So I hope, and I don't like wishing injuries on people, but for the good of FPL this season, he needs to go down with a 2-month injury to throw some chaos into the game. Because at the moment, no one's going anywhere. If you're literally the rank you're at the moment, you're going to be stuck there unless your differentials come in. That's the only way you're going to move.
There's a little guy. I think he's from Egypt. He's like, the Egyptian king is the only differential to really consider. But apart from him, no, he's the Egyptian prince, bro. Come on. But yeah, so looking at my team, wait, dude, I wanted to get your thoughts on, do you like the Raya Virgil structure? Because you get double Arsenal defense plus Liverpool defense, or do you prefer like Timber in that second premium spot?
I actually don't mind it. I think a lot of people at the moment, Kanji, are moving to double Arsenal defense, triple Arsenal defense. And let's be honest, they've had a really nice run of fixtures, but the fixtures coming up for Arsenal outside of this week, I'd say Sunderland is a strong probability of a clean sheet. Against Spurs, I'd even say there's a strong possibility of a clean sheet. But then it's Chelsea away, Brentford at home, they'd probably keep a clean sheet. Then it's Aston Villa away. I mean, they're still going to keep a lot of clean sheets. They've still got Wolves, Everton, Brighton. I mean, it's really around game week 20, you probably want to jump off the double Arsenal defence.
I think
but you've got double Arsenal defence, so you're sweet. So I quite like the Virgil, Raya, Gabriel combo.
They're like the nearest defence the defence can be to being fixture proof, aren't they? I mean, I know no defences, but they're the nearest, probably the nearest in the world, aren't they? I didn't realise Chelsea are playing at the minute.
They are. Yeah.
Look at the XGC. The XGC is ridiculous.
That's the real reason. We now know the real reason why Trig couldn't make this week. He's off watching. He's off watching Chelsea.
I did want to
rubbish.
Trig saying, keep away from Virgil. He's all his.
Exactly. So I think I think my point I wanted to mention earlier is like just talking specifically about the structure. So Raya is a perma play, Gabriel's a perma play, Van Dijk is also now a perma play because I'm free hitting in his Man City fixture and I get all of the good fixtures after that. So those three are perma plays, and then I've got Richards, Anderson, and Senesi There's supposed to be 90-minute guys that get DEFCONs, and whoever has the best chance of a clean sheet will play for me. It's as simple as that. So that's pretty good. I got 3 4.5s to play in one defender spot. That's kind of how I'm looking at my defense. Then Holland, Bruno, Ndiaye, and Semenyo are basically template picks. Like those are 4 of your 7 attackers that pretty much everybody owns, I would say, for the most part. So Sabal. Yeah, well, Ndiaye versus Enzo versus Sar versus Sabal. Yeah, there's so many, like Minte. Like there's lots of different differentials, I guess, in that midfield spot. But I think Ndiaye probably has like some of the higher ownership.
Yeah.
But anyways, so like Szoboszlai, Gyökeres, and Paqueta is what's going to generate me green arrows, right? So Szoboszlai was my transfer in this week versus Reinders. He was unlucky to not get the assist because Ekitike was offside this week. He also took the ball off the last man in the game against Aston Villa, and he had a one-on-one with the goalie, and he just shot it right at the goalie. So this could have been a massive differential haul, and I'm telling you, this is the Liverpool midfielder to be bringing in. Gakpo, he didn't even start on the left wing position. It was Wirtz in midweek, and Wirtz actually had his best game of the season. I think he will take minutes away. Isak is supposed to come back. I'm not sure if Ekitike will be starting every single game. Isak, if you had to ask people who is like in the top 10 players in the Premier League last season, Isak would have been in that list. So that's why I don't want to go to Ekitike. I really respect Isak, even though he's been, injury prone and not fit. But that's why I won't go to Ekitike. So Szoboszlai is the only one I can go to for nailed minutes with the good fixtures coming up. 90 minutes, takes the direct free kicks, takes the indirect free kicks on the right-hand side, takes the corners, gets DEFCONs if he's playing at right back or center midfield if Gravenberch is injured, like he's a utility man. So yeah, he's been amazing. And when you watch Liverpool, this man has been cooking. He picked up the assist, I think yesterday. He picked up an assist in the game before that, a goal and assist in the game before that, an assist in the game before that. Like he's been on fire. Genuinely been our best player this season. And then Van Dijk is obvious. He gets the DEFCONs, the clean sheets. Like I'm going into this fixture run with like 2 of the best differentials in the game. And I would really consider just mentioning that you guys should consider bringing them in.
Okay. Well, you've done a very good job. You're a car salesman now, and Szoboszlai was like an old banger car. I'm going out and buying him.
But you see, the problem is it's not about my defense. Like I'm very happy with my defense. It's about Szoboszlai, Gyökeres, and Paqueta. I'm very unhappy with those 3 at the moment. So I need to spend my transfers to switch them off.
Okay. All right, so let's have a look.
What's your plan with Gyökeres, Kanji?
Yeah, so that is the number 1 decision. And because I'm free hitting, it buys me an extra week. So there's 2 options, is Mateta and Thiago. So the template's on Mateta. You see every single content creator that matters has Mateta. But, I was talking to Nightmare. I posted this, everyone in my mini league has Mateta except me. And I'm sitting at the top. And he looked at that this is an opportunity probably for everyone else to gain on me, right? But at the same time, I can cover it up. Should I play defensive? Or do I go aggressive? Because if I go aggressive, I can go Thiago. And then in the midfield, I can upgrade Paqueta right to Saka. And no one in my mini league owns Saka. So I don't know. That's the thing.
I reckon if I was you, I would personally take on Mateta. I think you can match his points. But I don't think Saka's your answer in midfield. I think I don't know who you support, but I'd actually be very tempted to bring in a second Man United attacker.
Ooh.
Or a Minte.
Yeah.
The fixtures for Brighton and Man United are probably better than what even Liverpool's going to be having, in the short to long term. And United are scoring. They're scoring goals. You wouldn't want to defend it, but their attackers are scoring goals.
If you have
haven't you? Because Gyökeres might even be back off the international break. Not saying you'd want to keep him, but
yeah, I'm not going to keep him. There's no way. I mean, he'll definitely be gone for either one of Mateta or Thiago. But it's about D-Unit mentioned it. Mbeumo has a really good fixture run. I think it's West Ham, Wolves, and then Bournemouth. Those 3 fixtures can be 30 points for Mbeumo, and I don't want to miss them. I really don't want to miss them. And Saka hasn't put any pressure on me to be yo, keep me in your team. Go for me. What has he done? He just gets pens. That's it.
Nothing, unfortunately. Lads, I just wanted to have a quick look at this. So Trigger put this in one of his videos the other day, and I thought it was worth looking at because he was basically saying about how different. So this is basically a list of the top 20 point scorers this season, and obviously we've got a couple that we would expect towards the top. Haaland, of course. Semenyo obviously has had a great start to the season. Gabriel, but then when you look down beyond that, there's many names. I mean, Salah's all the way down in 16th. There's lots of names we wouldn't have necessarily expected. Timber, Gueye, Rice, Calafiori, Caicedo, Van de Ven. Do you think that's just down to DEFCONs? What do you think's happening here? Darius?
I just think it's a crap season. No, I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, look at that list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Defenders.
12. 12 of the top 20 are defenders or goalkeepers. I mean, what kind of a season is this where that's the case?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, I think I've said this all season. I think the DC has really changed the game, and I don't know if it's changed it for the better. I think it's actually changed it for the worse with the way they make. I think they got it wrong in terms of the number needed for each position, and I don't think that's what they intended to do. But unfortunately, it's the way they've done it. All it's done is made forwards look really bad value, like really bad value. Other than Haaland, who's just being so consistent, you have to have him. But I don't think is there another forward on that list? No, there's no other forward on that list.
Yeah, but
João Pedro is the only one that's on there. That's out. That's also a forward. Like, that is not how. That is. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. We're almost basically trying to tell people that defense is first. And like, let's be honest, no one goes to the football to watch clean sheets. Like, we go there to scream when the ball hits the back of the net. Like, I understand why they added the DC, but they've really cocked up the implementation. If that's the top 20 scorers in the league, they've cocked it up. Have
you guys felt like this is like an odd statement, but do you feel like you're falling out of love with football a little bit? Because, 2 years ago, it was the introduction of VAR, right? They took away the thrill, the excitement of celebrating a goal. Like, when it goes in, I have to open up my betting app to make sure that the goal actually counted. Otherwise, I can't celebrate. Like, what's the point? Like, I've been so disappointed. Like, what the hell? This is my differential getting a goal. I can't celebrate anything. Like, until I see it in my betting app, I won't celebrate. That's how I am, firstly. And secondly, now they're adding these DEFCONs. Like, what am I cheering on? Caicedo to get like 12 DEFCONs now? Like,
be fair, DEFCONs is FPL. It's not football, is it? But I mean, I was saying one of the things that has spoilt my love of football a little bit over the last couple of years is just the possession-based game. But in terms of pure FPL,
there's been less of that this year. I've enjoyed that. There's been more direct football, but some of I just think that FPL didn't need a hell of a lot of tweaking. Like, I thought last year, the game was actually in a really good spot. And now they've added the DC. And I feel like they added the DC, but they hiked all the prices of the strikers. And none of them are value at all. Even Haaland, let's be honest, is not value at 14.8 million based on
he wouldn't be
the cost and the points. Other than being a permanent captain. But again, that's also a problem with FPL. I don't think they realised that Haaland was going to be the only one that was that good, because they probably would have raised his price to 17 million if they'd known he was going to be that good in order to force people to think about it. But there's a way of fixing the problem. That's just add manual subs. Add manual captain. If you can have a captain on the Saturday and then change it for the Sunday, people can sit there and have their cake and eat it. And then the people that like playing a bit different can also have their cake and eat it. And then if you stuff it up and you get 2 points from your captain, well, that's on you. But at least you've got the choice. And it would create a bit more diversity, a bit more fun without actually changing that much about the game. You just have to be a bit more fun.
The thing is, though, I've seen that and a load of other suggestions on X and that this week. They won't do them because they want to, they want it. FPL, we are the hardcore. But FPL is made by FPL for the casuals, you know what I mean? To try and keep them engaged. And if they've got to mess around with their captains on Sunday morning, I know you could say, all right, we'll make them go and look, but they won't look, and then they're more likely to give up. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because like when you look at the Champions League, every other fantasy game has manual subs. Like, the FPL is the only one that doesn't. And there's heaps of casuals that play every other game. Like, it's actually not that hard. Like, if you don't change it, you're still going to get your captaincy points. Like, without manual subs, your captain is your captain. All it does is just create a bit more diversity for the people that are engaged I don't think there's a problem with it. I think it's a win-win situation. You're still going to have a captain. It's not like you're going to get no points.
There's a lot more small. The player base is something like UCL or the World Cup is so much smaller, though. I think they are hardcore players to begin with. That would be my argument. Whereas FPL is more likely to draw in casual players. Just going back to your point there, Kanji. Three of the top 7 scoring players, Arsenal defenders. Not really surprising, is it?
Yeah, it's not even just the defense. Like it's like everywhere. Like it's Rice. There's Calafiori, Gabriel, Raya, and keep in mind, like Rice actually missed a game too. Yeah. So it's like this guy. Oh my God! Like he's been an incredible value pick, right? Like why would you spend? We've already mentioned, like, why are you spending so much for Saka? Like, what does he do? Like, they're set piece FC. They're not open play goals FC. Get the guys that are on the set pieces. Well, you can also argue, like, Saka takes the pens and Saka takes the other side of the corners, but Rice has just been so consistent with his delivery. It's just been incredible.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't got a single defensive contribution, Timber, has he? That's quite he's still up there.
He got the points against Leeds. Remember, it was like game week 2 or game week 3. He just smashed 25 points or something ridiculous.
Yeah, was it a couple of goals and an assist, or a goal and an assist, or something like that? Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, I just thought
it's the same. It's the same with Van de Ven as well. Where like he picked up a 20-pointer. I'm sure if Alderete was here, it would have been because he picked up a 20-pointer. Like some of these defenders just picked up these massive hauls that are outliers. But I guess everyone's focusing a lot more on set pieces this year. So it's like center backs are picking up the def cons. They're also picking up the goals from the set pieces. Like it's a weird theme this year.
Interesting to look at, though. I mean,
Van de Ven's an interesting one. So, like, obviously, everyone when I did my transfer tips today, he's the 4th most transferred in defender this week, and he's the 4th most sold. Now,
I saw that.
It's very rare you get that from a player, but it's because probably he scored that goal in the Champions League against the Farmers. And everyone knows my opinions on Spurs players anyway, but I'm just going to read out a couple of interesting stats about Van de Ven and why he's probably been really lucky. So these are the teams that Spurs have beaten this season: Burnley, Manchester City, West Ham, Leeds, Everton. They've lost to Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Chelsea. They've drawn with Wolves and Brighton. They've arguably had one of the softest runs to begin the season. They now come up against Manchester United, Arsenal, Fulham, Newcastle, Brentford, Liverpool, and hold on, I'm missing someone here. Nottingham Forest away. I don't think they're keeping a clean sheet other than the Fulham game. I honestly don't think that. And so, like, for me, and I understand if you're buying him, I don't understand why you're buying him at all. Like, if you've got him, I think he's a hold because he's only 4.8 million. He can be your Anderson or your Richards and you swap on whenever. But if you're buying him this week, either you've got no brain and you think he's going to keep scoring goals, which I don't think he will, because let's be honest, defenders, he's not a Steve Bruce. He's not going to score 10 and headed goals a season, but he's not keeping a clean sheet. And like that run of fixtures that he's had to begin the season, that's why Spurs are in the top 4. But they're now coming up against the actual good teams in the Premier League, and they've literally beaten Doncaster, Leeds, the Farmers last night, and Everton. And the Everton game was a pure fluke. And let's be honest, against Chelsea on the weekend, they should have been battered. The fact they only lost 1-0, they got away with daylight robbery of a 1-0 result there, because Chelsea should have smacked them at least 4-0 in that game.
Just reading the chat trick saying next person to tell him that Chelsea's losing is going to get a virtual slap. I've just told him now. Does that mean he's going to virtually slap me? And I Swindler there was trolling me on Juice last night, but all in good fun. Okay, so let's go on to what we sort of named the stream after, which is when to use our remaining chips. So we don't have to spend too long on this because obviously a lot of people will have used them. I mean, I'm assuming like nearly everyone's used their bench boost now. But I've got the fixture ticker there for reference. So, I mean, we've all used our wild card now. I mean, I'll give my thoughts on each of these, and then I'll ask you two to come in and tell me what you think. So, I mean, before I hit the wild card 2 weeks ago, I was almost certainly going to hit the free hit in 12 or 13 because you've got the fixture string to Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Man United, either starting in game week 12 or starting in game week 13. On top of that, you've got the 16. That'd be nice. 5 free transfers coming in game week 16 as well. So, you know, I know that you could make your free hit you could make your wild card later and then keep them. But I can't see any reason you wouldn't use it in 12 or 13 if you still got it. Kanji, I'll come to you first, mate. What do you reckon?
Okay, so like I'll break this down for you, right? So when we get to game week 16, we all get 5 free transfers. So the value of using a free hit in game week 17, 18, and 19 goes down because you should have 5 free transfers and you're able to make 1 additional move for free. If you use the free hit in one of those weeks, you actually lose a free transfer.
Wild card, we're talking now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So if you have a wild card, I think game week 12 and game week 13, attack Liverpool, attack Brighton, like attack Brentford if you'd like. Get rid of maybe one of your Arsenal defenders. Attack Manchester City going into the future. If you like a Vardiol or you like the Donnarumma pick, there's lots of differentials to consider here. So I would go 12 or 13. Otherwise, you're saving it for like the game like 19 wildcard or 18 wildcard so you can prepare for the next 15 weeks later on, which that's a really smart play, but that's not how I want to use it this year because we have 5 free transfers now. So just get it done.
Yeah. Darius, do you think anything different or do you just agree?
I think that if I'd had my time again, I would have just bought in what I was originally going to do in game week 6 and just bought in Reyes, Semenyo and whoever the hell else I was buying in defense and wild-carded this week. Because I look at what I wild-carded into in 6 and I now look at what I would have done if I'd not. And I feel like there ain't been that much gain, mainly because of the fact that Newcastle have been crap the last 5 weeks. And I think if they'd defended a lot better and got me a lot more clean sheets, then I would have been much happier with the way it went. But unfortunately, it just didn't go the fixture play. And I think if you've got a wild card, you probably wait till 12 and then just press the button as soon as Saturday begins, start chasing those price rises, the players you want. You look at that Liverpool fixture run, and you've got to be investing in Liverpool for that run. And I think if they've got confidence now that you've seen the last week, they've obviously looked like they've sorted some nonsense out. So I think they're all systems go there.
Yeah, but if it's this week, you'd really want to put it. I mean, I'm sure if you were going to work on this week, you'd hit it already, but you'd want to put it off to after the
why would you do it this week?
You'd want to put it off to after the international break, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the teams you want to target this week, like this is why I think you wait till 12 because realistically, this week you'd probably want Chelsea players. But if you look at the Chelsea fixtures post the Wolves game, yes, Burnley's very nice in 12, but then, I mean, defender-wise, do you really want a defender after that? I don't know. No. And then you look at West Ham. West Ham, amazing fixture this week, but then no good, which is why free hit, I think, is a really good free hit week. Nottingham Forest, you can even target that fixture against Leeds, I think, because I think I think Leeds are not that good away from home from what we've seen the last few times they've travelled. And then, you obviously dodged a Man City-Liverpool game if you're free hitting like Kanji is this week, which makes a lot of sense. And then you can target Everton with good teams. You're still Fulham are a crap team. And they'll be easily slotted aside at Everton's home stadium. So, yeah, I don't mind the free hit play this week. It's actually really tempting, I think, if you're going to pay me.
Yo, your mic, bro.
Your mic's got a bit weird, mate.
Anyways.
I don't know. It does it sometimes while you're talking. I don't know if it's the internet or not. Anyway, so let's go. Let's go on the treble captain. I mean, it's Haaland against one of Leeds, Sunderland, or possibly West Ham, isn't it? In 13, 15, or probably Mike in my way. 13, 15, or 17. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, but this time I think it's like, I don't think you would go in 13 or 15. I'll tell you why. Like, at this point of the season, Haaland is a very injury-prone player. We've seen in his last 2 or 3 seasons, he's picked up a niggle multiple times. So what Pep will do is he'll try to kill the game off and sub Haaland off. But what you want is you want Man City to score 5 goals in a game. You want Haaland to play 90 minutes. And in order for that to happen, he has to have a free midweek either before or after. And that's why game week 17 is so perfect, because there's a free midweek. So I think triple captain is game week 17 locked in.
Fair play. Darius, do you want to say something, mate? I'm trying to get through these ones pretty quickly because
I've obviously got triple captain left, and I've been obviously weighing it up. I've been waiting to see. I still want to wait and see. Like Arsenal still, obviously that fixture of Palace and Arsenal already complaining about, having too many games. I do want to see whether something happens. We don't know if that will. Realistically, it probably isn't. But I think since I've still got it, I might as well wait because there's so many fixtures I look at there. So Man United play Wolves. That's a very enticing fixture in game week 19. And also they're playing in game week 15.
And Burmo Fernandes, who would you? I mean, I wouldn't do either, but.
Well, I've got history of playing it on Fernandes for massive points, so I'm not averse to playing it on him. And I feel like potentially game week 19, when Mbumo's gone to AFCON, I reckon there's a strong possibility that Bruno gets pushed into the 10 position, and I reckon Mainu comes in because obviously there's going to be a free 10 because there's no Ahmad, and it would make sense that Bruno's a bit closer to goals. And we know that Bruno closer to goals against teams that are relegation fodder can get 17-plus points pretty easily. So I'm tempted to wait and just see how it all plays out.
What if I gave you a different narrative? Like at this moment of the season, Ahmad and Mbumo are gone for AFCON, right? So that probably means Dallow's going to play on the right wing back and Dorgu will play left wing back, right? And, there's a certain player, his name is Matthias Cunha, who's coming up against his old team at home at Old Trafford. I mean, that could be one of the best differentials to consider.
That's the narrative.
He's going to be coming into my team for Mbumo when he goes to AFCON. I can give you the hot tip.
That's Kanji's used car salesman ability again. He could talk me into anything. Bench boost, lads. It's when it's team dependent, isn't it? I mean, I don't think anyone's got it left anyway.
It's pure luck, bench boost. Just play it and hope for the best. I mean, I played it with good planning and I got 4 points. So you're going to get better than that. So just play it.
Yeah. So
I would give you a few weeks to consider bench boost. Game week, you want to have cheap assets that have good fixtures. So for example, I have got Anderson, Senesi, and Richards. Most people are considering some of those 4.5. So I would consider game week 12 as an example because Fulham have Sunderland, Bournemouth have West Ham, and then I think Palace have Wolves. And then I think as well in game week 17, I think Bournemouth have Burnley, Fulham have Nottingham Forest, and then Crystal Palace have Leeds. So those would be the 2 weeks I'd consider game week 12, game week 17. As the unit mentioned as well, if there is a double game week, I actually think playing a bench boost in the double game week is actually better than playing a triple captain in the double game week because now we just have so many points coming because you get DEFCONs, you get extra points for every player in the team. So your bench could probably just go up so much more in terms of points on the bench. But yeah, just something to consider.
Interesting comment from Amazing Johnny here. There was this guy who did a hypothetical free hit every week and it almost always scored less than his actual team.
Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. I remember Nightmare last year, he free hitted that week and his team on paper looked way better than his actual team, but his actual team covered his free hit team pretty easily. I remember that because he just, and on paper, his ideas and soundings were great, but sometimes it just doesn't go the way you think it's going to go on any given week. So
you can't account
it can go paper.
You can't account for the variance in one game week, can you? But anyway, let's move on to free hit though. So I mean, we've all got this one left. I put these fixtures up for Kanji, so I think I'll pass on Kanji a minute. So I'm thinking, I'm confused. I did a members only video on Sunday looking at it, and I was convinced 13 because I've got 3 Arsenal and they play Chelsea, and I've got Enzo. But then I was like, but I'm saving up my 5 transfers for then to bring in Liverpool players, so I don't really want to use it then. And then the next one was 15, but I was like, but then we get the 5. I don't know. I've got no idea. I think for my team, the best is 13 because of the fixtures. So I can get, who have Liverpool got?
West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
Holland as Leeds at home.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably keep him as well. But that would be me. But Kanji, I mean, you are actually on free hit. What made you pull it this week?
Okay, so let me set the table for you guys, and you guys can come in and tell me what you think. So I think first thing you want to look at is Erling Haaland. Let's look at his captaincy fixtures. Game week 13, non-negotiable. I don't care what Salah has. Game week 15, non-negotiable. I don't care what Salah has. Game week 17, non-negotiable. They're all at home. Teams are going to finish in the bottom half of the table. I don't care. So 13, 15, 17, non-negotiable. I'm not going to use my free hit to gain on captaincy, right? So game week 14 and game week 16, right? So if you don't have Mo Salah in your team, you can gain for going for Sunderland at home in game week 14 rather than Holland's Fulham away. But Sunderland have been good this season. So I don't think you're gaining much if you free hit in game week 14 for Mo Salah. So game week 16 for me would be the free hit week in order for you to gain on captaincy. I think that's like my first thing that I learned when I was looking at the free hits. Then the second thing is like, okay, if that's the week to gain, if you're not going to captain Haaland in 16, who are you going to captain? And then it's going to be what, like Bruno versus Bournemouth at home or Saka versus Wolves away. But as we've seen, I'm not sure if we can just rely on these players to pick up hauls. But Salah and Haaland are on a different tier on their own. And I think this is the thing. Like, I watched something yesterday, and I have to just tell you guys, like, Salah is back. Like, he had the most, he passed like 3 or 4 guys were completed dribbles. He created a nice chance for Gakpo at the end of the game. He should have scored the rebound off of that as well. Like, Salah is back. I don't want to understate how important it is. This guy is the best FPL asset of all time. Game week 16 is the week I would go to free hit to gain on captaincy. But everything's team dependent. For me, I already have Liverpool players in my team, and these are my differentials to gain rank. And so if they're playing against Man City away, that doesn't scream like a green arrow to me. So I have to free hit them out. I have 0 Chelsea in my team. Chelsea versus Wolves. Wolves have lost like what, 7 of their last 10? Like, give me Chelsea players. I want as many Chelsea as I can get this week. So that's why I'm free hitting an 11 personally. But I think game week 16 should be the play. I know most people will consider game week 13, as you mentioned. We're all going to be tripling up on Arsenal. You know, so like the Chelsea away fixture feels like they're going to concede, right? So that could be a great week to gain on the template as well.
I'm just looking in the chat, so to go. Sounds like Trig's giving like his own commentary. I think he's been hounded by women, and now he's trying to sneak medical marijuana past sniffer dogs. This has got Trig in the chat in an airport brings us. But Darius, do you want to respond? When do you think they're playing it, and what do you think of Kanji's love for Salah? Because you've been very vocal against Salah all season.
I'm not. I will say that Salah has shown a few signs of life recently. I'm not convinced he's worth 14.3. He's down to now.
That's the beauty of that's the beauty of free.
Yeah, no. Well, it is, but I look at the fixtures. I'm like, all right, when would you want him? To be honest with you, I think I'd rather Salah than Haaland this weekend, if I'm being brutally honest. In terms of the rest, like, let's have a look. So it's, I think probably in 12, he's a better pick than Haaland, because I think Newcastle away is going to be a harder fixture than Nottingham Forest at home. But then outside of that, I think Haaland's got him covered for the fixtures the whole way through. Like, yeah. I look at the rest, I'm like, oh, Leeds is probably easier at home than West Ham. Fulham is definitely easier than Sunderland. Sunderland's, I don't agree with that one. Leeds is probably easier than Sunderland for Liverpool that week. Crystal Palace is actually harder than Brighton. So there's a couple. Those are the weeks, 15, 16, and 12, where I think Haaland is probably worse as an asset than Salah. But that's based on Salah actually doing something. And he's not looked overly fantastic in a lot of games. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that Emi Martinez had Salah in his FPL team and obviously had him captain, he probably doesn't score against Aston Villa either. I mean, I don't know what he was doing there. If that's not some corroboration to get him some points, I don't know what is, because I don't know what he was doing. But yeah, so I actually think that the free hit, like when I was looking at my own team, I was like, when the hell am I going to play it? There's no doubles, no blanks. Like my team is so, I don't have any triple ups other than Bournemouth.
Is that 100% confirmed now? 100% confirmed there's no doubles?
No, but it's close. I think we all expect now that there won't be. But yeah. So when you factor that in, when is the best time? Now, if I've got Haaland, it's either I really want, but I'm looking to buy Liverpool assets even this week for 12. So if I've got him, I don't really need to free hit him. So then I was like going, do I just free hit this week as well? And I was looking at Kanji's team, because this week I think is a week where you could sit there and bring in a Jared Bowen for 1 week and captain him against Burnley and just hope that it pops, which in theory, he could have had a 15-pointer against Newcastle on the weekend. He was so close to scoring. Then he was so close to getting 2 assists. Like, he would have had a monster haul in that game. And I just think if Nuno's West Ham plays like that against Burnley this week, Bowen is 100% scoring over 10 points. And he's probably a better shout than Haaland captain. And then you can target in die for evidence fixture with Fulham at home. You can get 3 Chelsea versus Wolves. I mean, there's a lot to like about a free hit this week. When I look at the fixtures, I'm like, oh, well, this is actually not a bad week if you want to take some punts on some random teams.
Yeah, so can I add on? Can I add on to that? Because he's talking about this week. Like, if you also factor in Haaland and Semenyo's hit rate versus their opponents. So Semenyo is Aston Villa. And also Aston Villa are known for being a very good team at home, and Aston Villa are at home. Perfect week to back against the 90% EO template, Antoine Semenyo. That's one of my. Also, Haaland has a 1 in 4 hit rate versus Liverpool in the Premier League. 1 goal, 0 assists in 4 appearances. Another perfect opportunity to back against the template high EO captain. Like, this is just the perfect week. And as you mentioned, Jared Bowen, one of the most slept on assets. Nobody owns him. And he's playing the worst team in the league. Darius mentioned it perfectly. He should have massively hauled last week. That's why he didn't. That's why nobody's considering him.
Yeah, it's game week 20 because someone was asking there. It's game week 20. They already said Darius.
Yep, definitely game week 20.
I remember one year it was like 21, but I think it was because I can't remember now. I think it was because like 21 was the first game in 2006, but it should be game week 20.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right. So some food for thought. I mean, I don't know if most people have only got 3 hit left now, but anyway. Right, so this one is a little bit of a, I'm going to call it a debate. So our good friend FPL Nightmare, who'll be watching this back later, I'm sure, made a video this week. So he's had a couple of hits this season. He did a -4 for a goalkeeper, Pope, a couple of weeks ago, and did a -12 this week. Now, I think his thumbnail here is a little bit of an exaggeration. I don't think it was a complete disaster. I think he was about 6 points down. But anyway, I made a members video where I basically slated taking hits. I didn't slate Andrew, but slated taking hits because I do not like taking hits. And he suggested that we have a debate. So I'm going to be, should we do this? So I'm going to be against hits. Darius can give the case for. And then Kanji, you can come in and give your opinion. Is that all right? Is that good to you, lads?
Yeah, I'll be neutral at the end. No worries.
Okay. All right. So I have been playing for 11 years, right? And I was I used to make a lot of hits early doors. So it's not as if I've always been a boring manager who doesn't like hits. So the first thing, which I know is not scientific, is my rank is always better when I do not take lots of hits, right? That is just a That is just a personal thing, I know, but it is what it is, right? But several reasons, right? First of all, very unlikely to pay off in one game week. You know what I mean? It's almost a multiple hits, maybe, but the odd 1 or 2 hit is usually unlikely that your player is going to score more than 4 points in the play you're taking out. It's just in a one-on-one hit, right? But the more practical point is say that I take a -12 to get 4 new players in this game week. The main thing that puts me off doing that is FPL and football is just so variance driven. You know, I've done that before, and then a player will lose his place, he'll get injured, he'll get suspended, or even more likely, they'll lose form, and I will either be stuck with an injured player, a suspended player, or the following game week, I'll like, I didn't actually want to get Mateta. I didn't actually want to get Voltemada. I wanted to get Mateta. But not only now am I stuck with Voltemada, but I've also taken a -4 to get him in. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not saying, like, for me, double clips have their place, double game weeks, blank game weeks when, you know, you're missing players. You know, sometimes you see it on paper, you know, the odd -4, and it just makes perfect sense. But outside of those rare times, I am against taking hits, particularly just on a whim or for something like to get a goalkeeper in, when we know that goalkeepers generally all score around the same amount of points anyway. Darius, I'll hand over to you for your rebuttal, my friend.
Yeah, I've taken 2 hits this season. In game week 3, got a green arrow, and this week just got a green arrow. So it does depend. I think it all comes down to the reason why you're taking a hit. So, for example, my team, I obviously needed some Crystal Palace players and I need some Arsenal players. Now, the transfers I made on the weekend, including the -4, the players I sold, the 5 players got 10 points combined between them. The 5 players I bought in got 37 points. So even with the -4 on that, I was up 23 points on the transfers. If your hit is going to get you a transfer gain like that, it's definitely worth the hit because it's immediate payoff and your team is set up for following game week. So I feel like in my particular case, and I did weigh up taking a -8 as well. Glad I didn't do that because there was no need with the way that it kind of worked out. And to be honest, if I'd had my time again and I'd been a bit more switched on with the price rises at the beginning of the week, I wouldn't have even needed to take a hit. But that's neither here nor there. When I look back at the decision to take a hit, it worked off. It doesn't always work off. And we've seen plenty of people in the week just been that sold João Pedro for a hit and bought in Voltamata, and they are literally down. I think it's -12 points based off that one move because they took a hit and obviously JP outscored Voltamata by 8 points. So it can go both ways, but it just comes down to whether that player is someone, and this is why I weighed up, like when I take a hit, it's got to have a bit more payoff than just that week. For example, I bought Rice, Gabriel, Mateta, and Sa. Like 4 players that are locked. They're not rotation risks. They're going to keep scoring points, not only the week I just bought them, but in the weeks following based on the fixtures and just the form of the team they're in. So, like, if you are going to take a hit, and I remember last season, the first hit I took last year was I bought in Watkins and Rogers, and I got rid of.
Your mic just went away. Just repeat that.
Oh, okay. So I had last season, I bought in Watkins and Rogers, my first hit last year, and it was for Isaac when he was going crap early doors and some other midfielder. And that week, Rogers and Watkins both mega hauled. Watkins, I think, scored a goal, got an assist. Rogers got a goal, and they both ended up getting like 20-odd points, covered the -4, no problems at all. And the 2 players I sold got nothing. So, like, it's got to make sense. And I think if you can make the points up on that week that you're doing it, it's a good hit. So, for example, this week I talked about, like last season, and I talked about 1 week punts in my video today, like Susan, who was at the top 20 teams or whatever it was for like a lot of last year, she literally picked players each week that were either playing Leicester or Southampton and captained them.
The woman who didn't know Bruno Fernandes was.
Yeah, but brought him in and captained him because he was playing Leicester.
Yeah.
I think if you're taking a hit, it's got to have an immediate payoff to cover the -4. And to be honest, I think if you're going to take a hit, it almost needs to be for a captain as well, because that way you can kind of offset the -4 as well if you're doing that. So that's my philosophy about taking hits, and I like taking hits. So but it's got to make sense for what you're doing.
You know, one of the things, just a side note, when I take a hit, I almost stop caring about my game week, and the only thing I focus on is whether or not that hit worked. You know what I mean? Because like, say that I took a -12, I'd be more concerned. I mean, I'm not more concerned, but I'm more focused. Like my week is more, how it affects my mood is more dependent on whether that hit pays off than whether or not I actually had a good game week. You know what I mean? It's a weird psychological thing. Kanji, mate, what do you recommend?
It depends, like how much like you value rank. Because like if you're playing FPL to like enjoy the season and you want to own like your favorite player, whether that's like Trent for me, like in previous seasons, or whether it's Salah or whoever it is for you and your team, like if you're taking a hit to bring in somebody that you know you're going to enjoy the game with, then do it. Like, because like FPL is just a game, right? But if you're playing for rank, then like you should really monitor your hits. And I would say that like the less you do, the better. But there are a lot of weeks where you can take hits and it makes sense. For example, Gabriel has just been donging in goals and assists, also getting clean sheets. Like if you don't own him, take a hit to bring him in. Like this is just logical. It's never going to make sense on paper, but it just makes sense longer term. Like stop bleeding the points. Like just do it. That's a good example, right? Another one would be like, if you have already gotten, let's say you got lucky. Let's say you brought somebody like, I don't know. Let's say you brought like Robertson in, okay? This is from Liverpool, left back. He goes out there, picks up 3 goals in a game, picks up a clean sheet, ends up with like 20 points. Somebody like Van de Ven, right? I would take a -4 after getting that haul. If he has bad fixtures coming up like Van de Ven, I would take the -4, do him down to somebody like Anderson, do him down to somebody like Senesi, somebody like Richards. Take the hit because like you have already got the points. You're not going to get them with the bad fixtures coming up and move on. Like there are specific weeks where I'm aggressive, but like it's about like how you see the game and like also like your personal vibes with the game.
Okay. Awesome. Right, I'm gonna. Darius, do you have any minute more to add, mate? I'm going to do a quick poll and see who managed to convince him. Well, I don't really think you put an argument against. You put a more nuanced argument, didn't you? But
yeah, I feel like I'll even look at Nightmares on the weekend, right? So he bought in Rice, and that obviously that covered the 12 points pretty much straight off the bat. It's just unfortunate the other players he bought in did nothing. Like that wasn't if 1 or 2 more of them had hauled. Like if Dan Burn had kept the clean sheet, like everyone bloody well predicted. His hit would have looked a lot better. Unfortunately, it's almost like, the other players that he brought in on the -12, they just didn't bang. If they banged it, no one would be talking about the -12. We're talking about the brilliance of the man. It's just, unfortunately, Newcastle have let me and Andrew down significantly. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the options. I'm just saying, do you think we should take hits? Never, only in doubles and blanks, when it feels right, and always, baby.
I like it.
And just a thought about like this season, right? Like if there is a double game week, like I'm free hitting this week, right? If there is a potential double game week for Arsenal and Everton in game week 16 and a blank in 17, I will take a hit and I'll bring in the players that I think are going to score the most points from Arsenal and Everton. Because I don't want to be behind the field. Like, what's the point of like being behind the field when a player can get like 6 or 7 points more than what I have? Like, if it's worth the hit, do it. Like, it's one of those where like you don't want to be too passive where you're just continuing to lose ground. Like, let's say if you take a hit this week, you'll be more optimal for next week. So that way you can make a more aggressive move versus making a move that just brings you back up to the template. You're always 1 step behind. Like, I would take the hit. Like, anyways, that's just my opinion.
Let's move on. So yeah, do let us know your thoughts on hits to the fixtures, and we'll do our predictions. Usually, we'll just go to one person and just give our predictions and move on to the next one. I will also take this opportunity to make my usual powder my nose trip. But Darius, I'll start off with you, mate. Spurs, your favourite team against Man United, the team that you hate so much, and do feel free, lads, just go through this if I take a minute here. Back in a sec.
Yeah, all good. Are you putting the screen up?
Yeah, it's up.
Ah, sweet. So, Spurs versus United. Now, I'm really gutted because I'm going to a defected event in Perth. Anyone knows who they are, the British thing I'm off to. I'm actually going to miss the first half of this game minimum. I'm probably going to have it on in the club, let's be honest. I'll be looking at the score while I'm dancing away or whatever I'm doing away. And I think I'll be celebrating when Man United batter the crap out of Spurs, because I'm going to say Spurs are going to win this game 4-0, because every time I predict the result for Spurs, it's a complete opposite. So 4-0 to Spurs. It's going to be a Mickey Van de Ven hat-trick and a pigeon goal. 4-0 to them. So that means hopefully Man United will spank them 4-0. Look, Spurs have been crap at home. But this is the week they need to be good, so that way Man United win. So that's all.
Yeah, no, I get that. Are you a Man United fan? Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I would just say, like, as a neutral in this, I would say United should dominate them and win this game 3-1. Like, I doubt they'll keep it clean. Like, Spurs will probably score, but United should destroy them. I think Bumo and Cunha, whoever the cams are in this game, are going to absolutely feast. Chelsea destroyed them. They should have scored way more goals than they did, so I really expect United to step up this week.
Yeah. Everton versus Fulham. I reckon I can't see anything other than an Everton win, and I think Everton win pretty comfortably. I'm going to go like 3-0.
Yeah, they've been very underrated so far this season, but I think so have Fulham. So I think it'll be much closer than I think people think, especially if Ndiaye's minutes are like 60th minute sub. But I think Grealish is going to be enough to get the job done. I'll go 2-1. Everton.
Yep. No, fair. West Ham versus Burnley. I'm going to go, for all those people who have held on to Jared Bowen, I reckon he scores a brace in this game. I think Burnley are going to, I think Nuno's going to get 2 wins on the trot. I can't see anything other than a West Ham victory. I'm going to go with 3-0.
Wow, that's music to my ears as somebody that's on free hit this week. But I think I'll be pessimistic. I don't think we can trust West Ham as far as we can throw them. So I think I'll go 2-2. I wouldn't expect them to win. I don't trust the team, but I would trust them to at least get some goals at home to Burnley.
I like it. Sunderland versus Arsenal. I can only see an Arsenal win, and I can't see Sunderland scoring. I'm going to go with like 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, you know what? I would have put the same exact score line.
But Arsenal are just so comfortable with 1-0 games, and I don't think Sunderland are going to concede a lot of goals at home. So I think it's going to be pretty tight, but I think Arsenal shut them out, and it'll be boring 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Facts, bro.
Yeah. Chelsea versus Wolves, what do you reckon?
Yeah, so this is the most pivotal game for me. If they concede, I'm going to be fuming at the TV because Wolves just can't score. I think they just can't score goals in games, and I'm going to go double defense on free hit. But I think it'll be a 2-0 comfortable Chelsea win. I genuinely think Chelsea should score 3 goals. It should be 3-1 or 2-0. That's what I think.
Which defenders are you going with?
Well, at the moment, I'm considering James and Kukurea, so I can get like the goal and the assist through. Kukurea, just perfect matchup versus Wolves. He always turns up. And James is the one that he's like the special one. Like he is just the special player, like perfect fixture at home. But the thing is, he's just about to play 90 minutes in the Champions League, and it's a Wednesday, Saturday turnaround, so I don't know if he'll play.
He's got quite a few chances in this week, hasn't he, as well?
I mean, he's on set pieces. He's got so much goal threat about him. I really love the James pick this week. And Maresca's come out and said that he's more than capable of playing back-to-back 90s now. So, well, I suppose the proof will be in the pudding now, whether he does or not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll take Villa Bournemouth. I reckon Bournemouth are going to... They've been... I don't want to say they've been off it, but I mean, they've had a few difficult fixes, haven't they? But I can see him coming back and bringing Villa back down. They're going to get me a double clean sheet for Petrovic and Senesi, and Semenyo will score goals, and it won't matter because everyone's got him anyway. Brentford Newcastle, we're going to that one, Candy.
So this is probably going to be a really controversial one. I'd actually back a Brentford 2-1 win here. I think like what's going to happen is like Newcastle are just going to get burnt out from playing in 2 competitions. Like we've seen this from 2 years ago. Last year they only played once a week. They were chilling, but 2 years ago they were really struggling. But I would say I would always back Newcastle. Like I trust the team. But the coach, I don't know, like the halftime sub of Ultimate and Gordon was just like eye-opening. And I can never really back Newcastle to win games anymore. So best case scenario, 1-1. But I honestly think Brentford have enough on the counterattack to score. Because what I saw from West Ham, bro, Newcastle made West Ham look like they were like an incredible team. Like Brentford are better than them. So anyways, I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford.
Yeah, I don't think Nightmare's particularly happy with how in a minute either. We're going to Crystal Palace, Brighton. What do they call it? They call it something derby. It's like a motorway derby, the A27. Anyone in the chat knows what derby they call it, let me know. What do you reckon, Darius? Palace, Brighton. Darius?
Oh, he just. I'm sure he'll come back, right?
Yeah. I'll get a beep if he comes back. It's probably his weird internet thing. I don't know. We were going into some conspiracy.
No worries. So Palace Brighton, I think it's just a simple 1-1 game. It's hard to predict. Either team can win, but I don't want to put my, I don't want to put my edge on the fence either way. Like who knows? It'll be 2-1 for someone, I'm sure.
Let me just let him back in again. Yeah, Darius, is that Elon Musk messing around with your internet again?
I don't understand. It happens every time at 3 o'clock. It happened on the weekend as well, didn't it, Gary?
Yeah,
My
yeah, it
stream
did,
just shut out.
So I'm saying that.
It's like, I don't understand. It's religiously at this time of the night, it goes off for like a minute and it just kicks me off everything, and then it's fine again. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Whack.
Anyway, yeah, UFOs, Elon Musk, someone's messing with your internet, mate. Nottingham Forest versus Leeds. This is going to be quite an interesting one. I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to go for a Nottingham Forest win. I reckon they're turning the corner. Leeds, I don't think are great as everyone thinks they are. Do you know the funniest thing is people are starting to mention bloody Elliot Anderson as a viable pick again, aren't they? He was one of the main reasons I wildcarded, but...
Bring him back. Review said yes.
Oh, I don't want him back, mate. I don't. But I was watching a video today. His actual XG across the season is better than Caicedo's. And there's ever
he's actually a good pick.
You hated it. Finally, he likes an Anderson when I haven't got him. So, Man City versus Liverpool. Kanji, I've got to come to you with this one as the Liverpool fan.
Oh, here we go. This is where like the men separate themselves from the boys. I think this is going to be a 2-0 Liverpool win. It's going to be convincing. I think we shut Man City out, and the whole world it's going to be a statement game. That's genuinely what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, okay. It's the A23 M23 derby. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Thanks, Combe. Yeah, I don't know. This one could be. It's going to be open, isn't it? I think it's going to be an open game. That's why I'm captaining Haaland, because I can see this being like 2-2, something like that.
Yeah, wait. Can I refute this logic? Did you watch the Real Madrid game? It was it was opposite of open. We dominated them. But think about it. They have the best counterattacking threats you can have in the world. You have Mbappe and Vinny Jr. They had nothing, bro. They literally had nothing. The only difference now is that like Man City has a focal point that scores all the goals. That's the difference, right? Real Madrid don't have that. So
I think you're being a bit
bro, I watched the game. I'm telling you, like Real Madrid
one game.
XP.
I'm with Kanji. I actually have weighed up whether it's a smart move to move Dan Burn to a Liverpool defender this week. I actually think I've seen enough in the Villa game that we watched on the weekend, Gary. What you didn't watch, but I was watching, and I obviously saw the highlights from the Real Madrid game last night. And I would argue that a lineup that includes Kylian Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Jude Bellingham, et cetera, is significantly better than a one-dimensional Haaland. I mean, I would back in Virgil van Dijk to marshal one player. And I think at the start of the week, I was definitely captaining Haaland, but I've watched Liverpool in the last 2 games and I'm like going, I think Arne Slot's figured it out. Stop playing these idiots that haven't adjusted to his system. Leave them on the bench until you get easier fixtures and then you can piss fart around. And I think he's learned that for these games, Bradley, Canade, Virgil and Robertson is definitely the play. Don't piss around with Kirkes and all this other nonsense. Just play the players that know the system and you're going to get better results. And I think that's what's going to happen.
On top of that, it's also like the midfield balance of Szoboszlai in the 10 leading the press, McAllister and Gravenberch protecting the back four. This is the tried and tested 3. This is how we won the Premier League. As if we've fallen off so hard that we're a team to target for captaincy. Disrespectful, bro. Gary, I really hope you get punished for captaincy this week.
Same.
I hope Haaland gets a hat-trick, which a few people suggested in the chat, and then I can rub your face in it when you're next on in a few weeks, Kanji. All right, so I'm not going to do what I usually do here, because usually I ask to make a free hit draft here, but we're going straight into a free hit draft. So that's what we'd look at this. So this is the projected goals and clean sheets. So top projected 4. I'll read out top 5 for this week, and then the top projected clean sheets, and then we'll go straight into your draft, Kanji, because we can maybe reflect on like how it matches up your draft. So top 3 projected goals: Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, United, Crystal Palace. That's from 1 to 5. And then the same for clean sheets: Arsenal top, then Chelsea, West Ham, Home to Burnley, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. And with that, we will jump straight into your free hit draft, Kanji. I'll read it out, and then maybe you can talk us through it. So you've got Raya away to Sunderland. Gabriel away to Sunderland. James and Cucurella both home to Wolves. Saka away to Sunderland. Paqueta, who you were moaning about earlier, being in your actual team, but yet he's in your free hit draft, but he is home to Burnley. Enzo, captain, at home to Wolves. Salah away to Man City. Fernandez away to Tottenham. And Bowen at home to Burnley. And Mateta at home to Brighton. Yeah, Brighton.
Yes. So can you flip back to the slide before this one?
I certainly
so
can.
As you mentioned, like if you look back at like the XGI per team, so I've gone for the Chelsea penalty taker that plays 90 minutes on penalties as my captain, the team that's projected to score the highest goals in the game. I've got Bukayo Saka, the 90-minute penalty taker, projected to score the third highest most XG. I've got Bruno, that's the same thing. Mateta is the same thing, and then Paqueta and Bowen is what makes up. So I've pretty much gone for what the template or what the bookies believe are going to be like the best fixtures, but it's also like what I believe. I don't care about what the bookies like. For example, I don't have Holland in my team. I think that 1.99 is a complete disgrace, bro. There's no chance they're coming close to that. They're going to be close to 1.0. Like I'm telling you right now, I've watched. This is my team. This is my team. I've watched every single game, and I've been complaining every week. Palace destroyed us. Brentford destroyed us. But those were counterattacking moments, and I think with this midfield, that's not happening. I'm telling you. So that's why this game week is the return of the king. Mo Salah is coming back. The way he looked last game against Real Madrid was just different. Like he just looked different. Like he was successfully beating people off the dribble. Something I haven't seen since last season. So he played great, and I didn't really have anywhere to spend the money. Like if Palmer was here, Palmer would be in. He'd be getting the captaincy, and that's where the money would go. But I can get Enzo, and he's cheap. And Bowen is the best differential of the week, and there's no way I drop Mateta. So I kind of had an open spot in the midfield, and that's why Salah went in. I'm not really super confident on Mo, but there's nowhere else to spend the money.
Genuinely, I would captain Salah over Enzo. Having had him in for a few weeks. I don't know. It's like put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? Darius?
I actually don't mind the no Haaland at all, to be honest. When I was putting together my free hit draft, it's actually got a lot of players very similar to you, Kanji. I'm just going to quickly pull it up so I'm not going to tell fibs and put people
no worries.
that aren't actually.
No worries. Just while you pull it up, I just want to mention, like, I think one mistake I'm making on the free hit is I'm not taking advantage of Nottingham Forest versus Leeds. Like at home, I think Nottingham Forest have improved defensively under Sean Dyche. And so, like, I'm very exposed to Chelsea defensively where most people don't own a single one. So maybe selling one of those assets and putting a Nottingham Forest defender or a Nottingham Forest goalie might be the play to just lower the risk. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think.
Could you, if you did that, could you then have João Pedro in? I mean, he's going to be quite popular. Or just he's sick of him.
I've never owned João Pedro.
Neither have I actually, but I don't know. That would.
Yeah, no. Like Bowen is like my differential. If it would be Bowen versus João Pedro in that spot, but I'm not dropping Mo Salah, and I can't drop anyone else because they're on penalties. I've got six pen takers here, brother, and Bowen is the differential. I cannot drop the attackers. It's the defense. Like it's clear.
This is what I've got, Kanji. So in my 11, I've got it in a 4-3-3. Now you could argue that potentially you could ditch Sanchez and put Sells in goal to cover the Nottingham Forest potential clean sheet. But I've got Sanchez in goal with James. I've then gone Timber, Gabriel, and Calafiori as a back four and just banking on an Arsenal clean sheet. Then in the midfield, I've gone a midfield three of Gibbs White against Leeds at home and Bumo and Bruno against Tottenham away because I just think that Man United are going to smack Tottenham. And then up top, I've covered the Haaland just by having him in instead of Salah. And you can make an argument you can have it the other way around, and I don't mind that at all. And then I've got Jared Bowen and I've got João Pedro. So I've got Bowen as captain and João Pedro in instead of Mateta based on the fixtures. And then the bench is neither here nor there, but Paqueta's first spot on the bench in case someone doesn't show up. But,
yeah.
I mean,
that's a really good team.
I just think that their defense, like triple Arsenal defense, I just can't see them conceding. So it makes kind of sense.
I've considered a 4-back because of that as well. Like, but the player I would drop is Salah. That's the thing. So,
a few comments in the chat. Claire's saying apparently Pedro soft off with 71 minutes again without a shot. Thomas is saying he wouldn't have Salah in versus City. Are you not really worried about Haaland? That it's a brave call, But, you know, he could come
Bro,
back.
bro. I've never been more confident of a call in my entire life. Like this is going to be a 190% EO Erling Haaland coming up against the best defender of all time. This is the team that just won the Premier League last season. We went through our bad spell. We've had 2 good games in a row. People are disrespecting, but they're disrespecting my club, and they're gonna find out this weekend. You're gonna find out, bro. Everyone that captains Haaland, I'm gonna reply to this. Every single big content creator, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, this is like a sheep captaincy call. You're scared, bro. You're not playing to win. You're playing not to lose by captaining Haaland. Like, just call it what it is. Like, I have to call a spade a spade. If you're captaining Haaland, you're playing not to win. Like, it's just how it is, and it's honestly, that's honestly what I believe."
Okay, just doing a poll to rate your free hit draft. You can choose, ladies and gentlemen. Great.
By the way, like, just like, you know what's funny about this? I have the exact money to do Salah to Haaland and captain him as well, but I'm choosing not to do it because I'm him.
Here's the rating scales: great, good, meh. Where's Haaland? You fool.
yeah. But you know, Gary. You know what's funny? Like in FPL, you should never care what other people think about your team.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Like your team is built on what you believe, and like what you believe, it matters more to like what you believe should matter more to your team than what other people think is the best. Because like if you follow the wisdom of the crowd, then you're gonna fall with the crowd, or you're gonna raise with the crowd. But I'm not like that, bro. I wildcarded in game week 4. Like, look at Trig. Me and Trig wildcarded in game week 4 with Let's Talk FPL. No one else even considered wildcarding. Like, I was able to navigate every single week since then. Like, I didn't have Gabrielle. I brought Gabrielle in. I jumped through every single hurdle. But I'm telling you, the biggest hurdle for the next 2 weeks is captaincy. These are the weeks to back against Haaland. Haaland can get 5 goals in the next 2 weeks. I don't care. Like, I went against him, and I'm going to live with the results. Like, it's Liverpool and it's Newcastle. If I don't go now, I'm never backing against him. That's what I believe.
I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible to have someone with more ego on a stream than Darius. But anyway, I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
No, I just you have to stick with your beliefs. Like I'm telling you right now, I don't care what people think. I'm going to do what I think is best this week.
Yeah, great. So I'm just going to go for the. So I think people. I didn't manage to convince them. So how often do you think we should take hits? When it feels right, 78%, which I guess really is the correct answer, isn't it? Never, 11%, which is actually higher than I thought it was. Always baby, 8%. Only in blanks and doubles, 3%. So interesting. Do you?
Can I ask you guys a question about the free hit?
Yeah, go on.
So like, there's 2 spots, right? Like the first is like that Chelsea defender versus the Forest defender. I'm gonna wait. I have a Chelsea friend. Like I really trust him, so I'm gonna call him before the game week and talk to him about like X minutes for James, because now they're gonna play heavy minutes and there's like short rotation because it's a Wednesday, Saturday. So I'm gonna talk to him about X minutes. If he believes that there's a risk, I'll drop him. I'll go Nottingham Forest defense. But the key thing is captaincy, right? I am not going with Haaland. The whole world is on Haaland, so I don't care. It's about Gabrielle versus Enzo. What do you guys think? Or Bowen, maybe.
What do you mean for captain?
For captaincy.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I just really don't like Enzo. I would go Gabrielle out of those 2. He probably would be the player I'd captain here. I mean, Darius, you had, I don't want to say luck, but because you were unlucky because Haaland outscored him, but he was a good captain for you last week. What do you reckon to Gabriel?
Look, if I don't end up captaining Haaland, I'm more inclined not to captain now. And like once you've done it once, it's actually much easier to go against it, even if it doesn't work out well, because you know kind of what it's done. And like I've actually taken him on the last 5 weeks, and in the last 5 weeks, I've actually got 3 green arrows in 5 weeks, regardless of captaincy.
Wow.
So if you don't, just because you don't have him as captain doesn't mean you're averse to actually getting a green arrow, because a lot of people that are captaining him have crap teams and they're literally being propped up by Haaland captaincy. So
that's an illogical argument. Because if because if you'd captained him, you would have had a better week and your captaincy would have worked. Yeah,
but it wouldn't have been as fun, and I'm here for the fun.
I wouldn't have been able to take the piss out of you on a Saturday night as well, which is would have been
exactly. I mean, and I'm like, I just like, I think that in some of those games, Haaland's been very lucky to outscore the people that I've picked. I mean, like, I even look back at the Burnley game, right, when I picked Foden instead of Haaland, and I know that Haaland got 2 unbelievably late goals, and Foden had one robbed off him by Esteve. I mean, if that goal from Esteve, if he actually scores that goal, all of a sudden Foden's over 10 points. And like, and then the week after against Brentford, he doubles the XGI that Haaland has and doesn't score.
The Brentford one was like the Burnley one, bro. Like I honestly think that's your own fault. Like because like it's Burnley, bro. But like the Brentford one, that was straight up unlucky. Because like even the matchup, he had one shot in the game. Foden had 5. Yeah. Like that's so unlucky, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really funny. The chat are wrong. The safety score at my rank is actually really high.
No, it's 10.
Really high.
It's 10. It's 10.
No, it's not. My safety score on the weekend was over 70. Can you believe that?
It was 10.
Because the rank of 5 mil, it's actually really hard to go up. So people at like Gary's rank had like 40 this week and were fine. They barely dropped. But if you had like under 70 at my rank, you dropped a million spots.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I'm literally opening Pandora's box this week. I'm either falling to 2 million or maybe even 1.5 million from 300K, or I'm flying to the top 100K this week. It's going to be one of the best weeks of the season, and I get to watch this as a Liverpool fan with Salah in my team and everyone else is Haaland. It's like such a perfect weekend. I can't wait. Like that last game of the season is going to be crazy to watch.
Right, I'm going to give one more minute. Get your rankings in for Kanji's draft. And while we do that, I will go on to Darius's team. So Darius has got Pope at home away to Brentford, Chalobah at home to Wolves, Burn away to Brentford, Gabriel, that could be away to Sunderland, shouldn't it? Semenyo away to Villa. Your face is looking weird, Darius. Did you send me the wrong draft?
Hold on. I think you've got...
I think most of them are right.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
It's just Gabriel. It's just Gabriel.
Sorry, I forgot to change Gabriel.
Yeah,
I sent you the...
Rice away to Sunderland. Sarr at home to Brighton. Fernandez away to Spurs, as well as Mbermo. Haaland captain currently at home to Liverpool, and then Mateta at home to Brighton. So yeah, talk us through it, mate. 1 free transfer and 1.1 million in the bank. You got there.
Yeah. Look, I need to see how Newcastle play in about half an hour to work out whether it's going to be double Newcastle defence or it's. I think I might split the difference. I think I'm probably realistically going to play Pope and Senesi, and I'll put Burn on the bench. So that way, if one of them keeps a clean sheet, at least I'll get it, and I don't have to sit there because I have no confidence on Newcastle post Sunday because they were so poor that I was so close to transferring Dan Burn out before the end of that game because I was so unimpressed. I mean, I had that down as a banker, 2 double clean sheets. Thanks for coming. And the fact that they sat there and got 4 points between them was just, frankly, not good enough. And I've been there for 5 weeks now, and they've got 1 clean sheet the 5 weeks.
Can we go back to that? Do you remember that slide you had, Gary, of like the clean sheet percentages? I'm curious to see if there's a difference between Newcastle and Bournemouth this week.
Yeah, there's not much, I don't think. Oh, there
wow,
is a bit.
It's basically the same, like Newcastle. Wait, no, never mind. Wait, it's 22% versus
26.
26,
oh, yeah,
not
4%. Yeah.
Not much, but then
Senesi's more likely to get DC, so that's why I'm like, I think I'll swap those 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. Any thoughts on this one? On the Unit team, Kanji?
I think this is the type of team that is just so spicy, bro. Like you go into the Crystal Palace game, you're excited, you want some goals. Go into the United game, you're excited, you want some goals. Like that's going to be really interesting. And I think this is a team different to the template that can climb, and I really like it. The issue is the captaincy. I'll just call it what it is. Let's see how that works.
I'm probably going to change it, Kanji. I won't lie to you. I'm probably going to move it off Haaland because I originally had it because I thought Liverpool, if they defend like they've been defending the last 5 or 6 weeks, he's going to have a hatful. But based on the last week, I think that Liverpool, Slot's finally discovered that maybe he just needs to play it a bit safer back there. And I think based on what I've seen the last week, I don't think Haaland scores more than 1. Now, it might be famous last words. And I think if he's only scoring 1, you can easily take him on again. So I think that that's probably what I'll end up doing.
So are you going to go Gabriel cap then?
I'm not sure. So I've just my face was interesting before because I was looking at the Chelsea lineup in this Carabao game, and it's just a very weird lineup. Like they've started Kukurea, Adebayo, and James in the back line. So Chalobah could actually be a decent shout against Wolves. It sounds stupid, but he's going to be starting based off this lineup tonight. And then you've obviously got Lavia, Santos, Gittins, Estavio, George, and João Pedro started. Now, João Pedro's been subbed. Enzo Fernandez has come on. Caicedo's come on. Delap's come on. And Garnacho's come on. So, I mean, even if you were, I would even, if you're on free hit now, I'd actually even look at Fofana. Fofana's on the bench tonight. He's obviously going to start, I would suggest, with Chalobah against Wolves. And I think that's a pretty good defensive partnership. Yeah, I mean, Gabriel seems to me like, I feel like I got unlucky last week. And I feel like this week could be the week to double down, and it will hopefully pay off this week. Like at the end of the day, I would think again, his floor is 6 points because I just don't see Sunderland scoring. And if Sunderland don't score, and the way Sunderland play as well, they put a lot of balls into the box. So you'd expect him to probably get the 2 points for DC. So you're looking at 8 points. And if the score's low, again, he's probably getting bonus again, and he's going to get at least 10 points. So then Haaland would need to score more than one goal again.
Yeah, which is not going to happen. No chance. There's no way he's scoring 2. Like, there's no chance. His highest is 9, like guaranteed.
So yeah, I think that potentially he could. I think maybe that's where I end up going back to. However, if Man United versus Spurs was not the early kickoff, I would be very tempted by a Bruno captaincy this week. But because it's the early kickoff and it never goes, I've never ever captained in the early kickoff for the reason that if it goes poorly, the rest of your week's crap. So I'd rather not play it on that day. So that's my plan at the moment is to, I'm hoping to get a good start, but yeah, I don't want to captain any of that.
Does it matter to you that like Man United's away from home?
Against Spurs, I think it's actually in our benefit because Spurs have been bang average at home in the league. They've actually been better away from home. I'd be more concerned if Spurs were coming to Old Trafford than us going to Spurs.
Are you rolling?
I was going to bring that up.
Are you rolling, Darius? Sorry, I missed that.
I'm not sure. It just depends. Like if in my head, I'm like going, I could bring in anyone I want for Dan Burn this week. I could bring in another Arsenal defender. I could bring in another Chelsea defender. I could bloody well bring in Bowen for Mateta if I think that's going to be a better play this week. And just bank the 0.1 million because I honestly believe that Jared Bowen's going to bang this week. Like against Burnley, he do a mega haul. And like I'm not going to have him for it.
Can I make like a crazy show that like this is going to be so like differential, but would you consider, like, let's just be realistic. Brentford and Aston Villa are both going to score this week. Like, I would assume at home, I'd back them to score, right? Would you consider going Dan Burn to Van Dijk? Because, like, you can just do, like, you can literally just do Van Dijk in. Like, as crazy as, like, what I'm saying sounds, but, like, if it does work, right, like, you can consider still captaining Haaland or not, whatever you choose. But, like, he's definitely getting DEFCONs in this game.
How much is he? How much is he?
He's 6 or 5.9. Like I think he's close to a price fall as well. That's the thing.
That's why I bought him yet.
Yeah, so I'm sure people are like, "Oh, I really hope he falls." But the minute we get to the deadline, the minute that happens, everyone's buying him. Forest at home doesn't matter. You think people are going to wait for the price drop? Like you're going to need it to happen before the deadline. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Right, let's end the poll and. Very mixed results.
He's not that close.
Very mixed results. Very close results. So great, 28%. Meh, 28%. Good, 23%. Where's Haaland you fall? 21%.
Yo, shout out to the 21%, bro. I rate you.
They're my channel members, probably that 21% voting.
No, it's okay. They're just sheeps. It's all good.
Exactly. Well, my channel members are not sheeps. My channel members are not sheeps. Don't slag off my channel members. I just called them out, bro. I just called them out, you know? All right, let's move on to my team. So, I mean, I've got Dubravka starting at the minute away to West Ham. It could be Petkovic. I think pretty much Similar, I expect them to both concede. Gabriel at home to Sunderland. Timber at home to Sunderland. Rodon at Nottingham Forest. Again, Richards against Brighton. It's similar. He's my first bench. I could basically play any of those three defenders. Bruno away to Tottenham. Semenya away to Villa. Minter away to Crystal Palace. Enzo at home to Wolves. Saka away to Sunderland. And then Mateta and Haaland captain up front. So, yeah. I'm on free. I've got 3 free transfers. I've only got 0.2 million in the bank. And I think I'm just going to roll again. Yeah, I don't know.
You've got a really good team.
I'm just very indecisive at the minute because I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to use my free hit. I don't know when I'm going to want to use those transfers. I mean, probably in 13. So I'm just in that situation where if I don't know what I want to do, just roll. So
why are you playing Rodon?
I don't know. Who would you play out of those two? I mean, I don't see
Richards 100%. He's
maybe. I mean, I don't see when you take Defcons into account. I don't see any of them getting clean sheets. I think they're all on 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
I think Palace might actually keep a clean sheet, to be honest.
I agree. If there was a team that could keep the clean, it's probably Palace this week.
Yeah. It's an easy decision. I'm surprised you've got Richards. That's because review says Rodon's a better pick than Richards. That's because Gary hasn't got a brain.
Have you been looking at FPL review, have you?
Well, that's the only explanation why you'd pick a Leeds defender after they got spanked 3-0 by Brighton on the weekend away from home, and you're playing him over Richards, who's got the home fixture. There's no other explanation for that. Because
maybe he'll come in, lest you forget what he did the previous week, Darius, with the powering header.
That was at home. It was a home fixture.
He can do it away. He can do it away from home.
He's doing nothing.
So, can we talk about like your future transfers with your team? Because like your team looks great. Like it's perfect. So here's the thing, right? You're obviously missing after this week. You're missing your Liverpool. You need to get to Liverpool. This is like a no joke, non-negotiable. You don't have Salah. You need a slice of it. So either you need an attacker or you need a defender. No, this is like a no joke. Like, do you want green arrows? Like I'm telling you, this is how you get green arrows. Timber to Van Dijk is an easy move to me. In my head, that's an easy move. Next week, maybe not this week. Next week, and then Minte to Szoboszlai, but how can you afford it? You don't have the money. That's the thing. So are you just going to keep Minte, no Liverpool attack? You're just going to go in. The team that's going to score the most goals in the next 6 to 7 weeks, you're going to have none of them. Is that your plan?
Well, I don't have your optimism, Kanji.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
your ability to sell the used car is wearing off a bit. No, I mean, I don't know. I haven't got any plans. That's what I mean. I'm completely. My mind is completely open at the minute. I mean...
How many free transfers?
3.
So it's easy. All Gary needs to do is just get rid of Saka, who's a waste of money at 10 million.
Well, not against...
He drops him down. Down to a Liverpool defender. Then he can upgrade bloody Rodon to whoever he wants, to Virgil, Canade, Bradley, and he's laughing. And he's still going to have 1 extra free transfer left over.
No, I'm not getting rid of anyone who's playing away to Sunderland.
I mean,
not this week.
Yeah,
next week.
Maybe. I mean, I will get some Liverpool in. I mean, maybe Van Dijk in. Yeah, that's not a bad suggestion. Never go in there. Well, I'm certainly not going there in the near future. I mean, I even thought about if there was a way I could get Salah in for Saka if Saka continues to disappoint. But it is 4 million, so I'd have to drop Bruno. Probably to
Mateta to Thiago is 1.5, right?
Yeah, but I want Mateta. Their fixtures are decent all the way up until Christmas, but
you can drop Semenyo. I think Bruno's fixtures are better than Bournemouth's for quite a while, to be honest.
How much more is he now? Because I don't.
Semenyo, when did you buy him? How much was he?
Game week 4 or 5, something 7.1, 7.2.
Oh, so you can sell him for about 7.5, 7.6. Yeah, you could drop him down to like a 5 million. You could drop him down to Casemiro, get 2.4 million. Offers more points than Semenyo at the moment, and then you can upgrade Saka to Thing and then drop Timber to Bradley, and you've probably got the money.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the other thing is we've got an international break coming up, haven't we? So we don't even know who's going to be fit or what the state of play is going to be in 2 weeks. But, I just think I hadn't thought of that before. I did vaguely have a transfer in my mind, but I think it's just roll. And I've never even got free before. Imagine having 4 free transfers.
You're in an interesting spot. Like, you need to consider, like, are you looking to? I'm gonna try to cool my Liverpool ego and just come back down to reality, because I feel like that's the vibe you're on with your team. So, like, with that being said, are you looking to keep Minte like longer term? Because I know the fixtures are great, but he has no roots to points. He doesn't take set pieces. He doesn't take penalties. Doesn't take corners. Doesn't take free kicks. Straight up an open play merchant. When you have somebody like Szoboszlai, oh no, let me just stop talking about Liverpool. When you have somebody else you can consider in that position for like 0.5, you're also like, are you also going to get rid of your double Arsenal defense, or are you looking to keep them for the rest of the season? I'm curious.
I really don't know. I'm just in because I had a pretty. I mean, my rank was as bad as Darius's in game week 1, and I think I'm just enjoying. It's like a couple of weeks ago I did nothing, and it worked out. So I'm trying not to think too far ahead. I mean, I could keep them. I could go to Liverpool. I mean, the original plan was use the 5 free transfers to go Newcastle and Liverpool assets, but certainly not convinced for Newcastle at the minute, and Liverpool have got to do a bit more yet to push me over the line. So
cool. So you're just looking at Minte as like a long-term asset for you. You have no intention to sell.
Potentially, it's all open. It's all open at the minute.
Cool. I'm just curious because, like, he's the one pick I don't like the roots to point. Like Semenyo, I'm very happy to go like no roots to points, but he is like on a different level this season. I think Minte's been a little bit lucky personally. So let's see how that goes for you. He
has been lucky, particularly to get 3 assists out of him in 2 weeks. Has been very fortunate. Like, one of them is
this is what I'm okay. All right, I need to stop the Liverpool. I'm telling you, this is what I would do. If this is my team, Timber to Van Dijk, Minte to Szoboszlai, and then I think Mateta down to Thiago. Like, that's what I would do. But I would also want to get Raya in there as well to still maintain double Arsenal defense. Okay. You have a lot to really consider. And like Enzo could be an easy move to Szoboszlai in 13 after he plays Wolves and Burnley. You can just keep Minte.
Enzo is more of a likely out than Minte for me.
Yeah. But you need Palmer to come back, and you need him to like show that he's back. You know, otherwise Enzo is an excellent pick who could just maintain pens throughout the season if Palmer re-injures himself, right?
Yeah. Do you reckon Saka? Say that I was to go. I mean, I'm not talking about if I got 5 free transfers in 13. If I went, for example, but I'd have to go to a non-playing, almost a non-playing. I'd have to go something like Fernandes out to, I don't know, let's say Ndiaye or something like that, save me 2 million. Maybe, yeah, it's just difficult to do though. Yeah, maybe
it's tough to sell. It's tough to sell Saka, Timber, and Gabriel, especially if there is a double game week coming up. You have the 3 best ones. Like essentially, if there's a double game week, these are the 3 that I want to build to. But if there isn't a double game week, then I don't need Timber. That's what I think.
Yeah, right. Let's move on because I just realized we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. FPL Hippie, who is still in the chat quite a lot. Quiet Media, Twill Media is his name, is in the chat, asked me 5 minutes beforehand to include his team, specifically because he wanted to get Darius's take on it, because Darius is not on Blue Sky. So I had a few minutes, so I stuck it in there. So Hippie's team is Sanchez at home to Wolves, Munoz at home to Brighton, Chalobah and Cucurella at home to Wolves, Gabriel away to Sunderland, Vice Trafford, or Trafford, whatever you say, away to Villa, Semenyo, Rice, Saka, Mateta, Haaland, captain. I think he also said, he can tell me in the chat, he's got 2.5 million in the bank. Is that right, Hippie? Darius, he specifically asked your opinion, so I'm going to hand over to you.
I mean, the triple Chelsea defense is, I don't mind it. I feel like it's pretty ballsy, but There's a week to do it. This is the week. I'd actually probably just roll the transfer and just wait till and wait to use the money on Liverpool assets the week after. I think that's what I'd do. And fairness, actually, no, I think I would make one change to your lineup. I think I would play Thiago over Truffert.
He's got Sabozla.
If Newcastle show up how they showed up last weekend to West Ham, I would 100% be playing Thiago this week and benching Truffert. Other than that, I think it looks good.
Kanji's brain is I can see in his eyes. He's intensifying with anger. Sabozla, third on the bench. Kanji.
No. I like that. No. I like that. No, I'm freeing him out, bro. Like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I completely agree. And same with Xhaka. Like, Thiago's the only one you could play. And, like, Newcastle looked bad last week. Why would you back Bournemouth defense against away at Aston Villa? Aston Villa is a fortress over there at Villa Park. What the hell is this guy doing over here? Get Truffert out, man.
The captaincy. Change your captain, because if you've got Saka in your team and you've got him for this week, and it's a bit like last week. I know it didn't come in last week, but it might come in this week. If you're owning Saka, you've got to captain him. Like, these are the weeks where you captain him over Haaland. So that's the other change I would make.
Okay. It's got 102 million team value, 0.8 in the bank, and 2.5 million rank.
Good team value too.
Very good team value. Very good team value.
Yeah, the team is, like, obviously, like, I have to state how it is. Like, this is one of the deepest teams I've ever seen. Amazing team.
Yeah, it's got a very good bench, hasn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Lads, we've been going for an hour and 50 minutes. Do you want to do a 10-minute Q&A?
Yeah, I'm down. I have to say, like, listen, Gary D-Unit, this has actually been a lot of fun because, like, I am so different to the field this week, and I don't mean to come off as, like, so egotistical or I believe and I'm right or whatever, but, like, you really have to have that sense of, like, self and, like, what you believe. Otherwise, you're going to be persuaded in different directions. So, like, apologies if I ever came off my way is the best way.
My job as the host is to be antagonistic and wind people up. It's absolutely it's absolutely fine, mate. It's absolutely fine. Darius,
all right, cool. But I have to just say it, right? Because, like, you have to be polite. I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone.
No, we don't. I've got Darius on here. I mean, he disrespects me all the time. Darius, no, we're here for the banter, aren't we, mate? We wind each other up. That's why we love it. Can we do a quick 10-minute Q&A, Darius?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I will put in a quick get your questions in. And if you put a question in before, put it in again because I'm not looking back for the chat. There we go. Alternative captains options, Amazing Johnny says, between Mateta, JP, or Gabriel. Kanji?
Gabriel. No doubt.
Yeah, 100% I agree. Bowen captain, Kevy says. Darius, you with it?
Love it. I think Bowen captain is definitely if I had Bowen in my team, I would captain him this week. 100%. Wouldn't even think about it.
Actually, I probably would as well.
I think Kanji's going to be thinking about it between now and Saturday's deadline because I think
definitely. Like the thing with Bowen is, like, if you look at his, like, data on FBref, he has, like, let's say, like, 10 XG and 15 goals every season. Like, this is what he does. Ticks along 10 XG, 15 goals, and Burnley have been conceding 2 XG every game. So if you're giving Bowen 1 XG, he's going to score 2 goals. So, like, it's so tempting, bro. I'm telling you, but I just cannot trust the team. Like, I feel like I'm, like, 2 or 3 weeks early on that captaincy. I wish it had come later on.
Yeah, not fair.
Matthias.
Is Casemiro being overlooked? 100%. He's scored. Hold your hats, everyone. He's outscored Haaland the last 2 weeks. He's scored 27 points the last 2 game weeks. Imagine if you owned him and captained the man. He has shown up big time.
Dubravka, Reinders, Steve, Rodon, bench boost. I think we'll say yes to that as long as they're all playing. I think let's use it. Kanji disagrees.
Like, what are the fixtures? Can you show me, like, what the fixtures are? Like,
yeah, Dubravka and Esteb play West Ham away, and Rodon goes to Nottingham Forest away, and Reinders probably gets benched against Liverpool.
Yeah, no chance. If you have Reinders on the bench boost, no chance, bro. That's like a 1-pointer, pretty much.
I know, that's what happened with me. 1-pointer.
I
No
bench
good.
boost. I bench boosted Reinders away to Arsenal and got 8 points out of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
at
'cause you
that time,
cheated, Gary.
but that's different. No, that's different. I did the same, but that's different. You know why? Because like, what's his name? Kovacic wasn't in the picture. There's someone else. Marmoush wasn't in the picture. Someone else wasn't fit. Like, so you're getting 90 minutes from this man. It's different.
Oh, right, okay. I'll take your point. Is 80-17? Is Reinders and Gyökeres and Reinders to Mark Gui and Saka worth -4?
No.
No.
Wait, Gyökeres to Saka -4.
Gyökeres and Reinders to Gui and Saka worth -4. Gui would be benched. It might be. I'd actually say yeah.
Yeah, I would say yes as well.
It might not work out, but I think it's worth it on paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Saka's got to get the -4 covered. And if you're doing it, you have to captain Saka. Otherwise, there's no point doing that move.
Com says, if Everton doesn't score this game week, will Darius finally looking to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, who is Joachim Anderson?
Now, this raises a really good point, Gary. This is a question for Gary, actually. So, Gary, as we all know, Gary is FPL Review, and the only transfer the FPL Review
boy, FPL Review boy, get my name right.
Right, well, FPL Review boy, is basically saying that he should sell Richards, and this makes no sense, Kanji. I want your opinion on this as well.
Oh, yeah.
Gary wants to sell Richards for Anderson. Now,
Review wants me to sell Richards for Anderson.
And Gary talked about on his members only video. If anyone watched that and is a member, you know that Gary is thinking about this stupid move because he hasn't got a brain, because Fulham's Anderson does not keep clean sheets. And Richards does keep clean sheets about 50% more of the time than what Anderson does. And Gary wants to do this move. Kanji, make it make sense for the folks that are watching.
Yeah, the thing is, you're asking me to do the impossible, so I don't know if I can do that. but I have to. You know what? I actually, in this situation, I have to back Gary. You know why? Like, I actually looked at the Bournemouth Fulham rotation in Game Week 1, and it just rotates so well. Like, I think there's the Game Week 15 and 16 fixtures when they play like Man United and Chelsea. Just off the top of my head, I think Fulham played Burnley and someone else in those weeks, and I think you can back him for like 10 points in those 2 games. So that's why, I mean, it's hard to dispute it. But this is the thing.
Darius.
But Richards is a much better pick long term. Like, over the season, Richards will score more than, I think, the Fulham guy, as long as they play the same minutes.
Well, the other thing is, on a serious note, he has been rotated in midweek, and there is a midweek game coming up in 14. And I worry about that. And that would make... If I didn't have copious amounts of free transfers, then I'm not going to do it this week, but I reckon it will definitely do it before then. I'm going to have to get him out.
So I reckon Anderson, so I'm looking at the stats now for Anderson, right? So they've kept the clean sheet against Wolves because obviously they played against 10 men for pretty much the entire game. Now, the only other time they kept the clean sheet was against Leeds. That was also at home. They've not kept another clean sheet. Now, the fixtures for Anderson coming up, and this is not correct because Sunderland is not a green fixture in 12, and they reckon it's a green fixture. It's not. Sunderland will score against Fulham. I've got no doubts about that at all. They're conceding against Everton. They're conceding against Spurs. They're conceding against Man City. They're conceding against Palace. The fixture in 16 is away at Burnley, and Burnley have scored goals at home. If this was at Fulham's home ground, I would agree. Potentially you could lock in the clean sheet, but I think Burnley will score at Turf Moor, so then Anderson's not a good pick then. Then it's Nottingham Forest at home, and by then I think Dyche Ball will be up and running and they will score there. And then game week 18 is away at West Ham, and again, I think West Ham will score at the London Stadium, so where is he keeping the clean sheet? That's what I want to know. And if he's not getting the clean sheet, you're literally buying him for 3 points because he's not going to score a goal. He has not scored a goal now in over 2 years. So anyone that says he's got goal threat is just delusional because he just does not score goals.
Another
Yo, it's such a pleasure to like listen to the Darius rant live, like on the show, like listening to Darius rant. Like I've listened to this rant like 5 or 6 times already. It's so funny.
no,
Like,
I've heard
like,
it many times.
The
Couple of-
idea of Anderson is just such a myth. Like I don't even know if we'll keep another clean sheet, but I still have to keep him for the Burnley fixture. Like I don't have a choice, bro.
A couple of joke questions.
Keep a clean sheet. So why buy him? I don't understand. Why would you even consider buying him? If those fixtures are home, yes, I'd be like, all right, he might get 2 and 3 weeks. But the 2 good fixtures are away from home, and we know that Fulham just find ways of conceding goals. So why do you want him?
Right, stop talking about
that's actually a really good thing to consider. So like, can I actually pose this to Gary, right? Like this is some homework for you. Like when you leave, you can go consider this. I would actually consider something that's gonna sound so controversial, but like, okay, Newcastle defense was they had very good expected goals conceded numbers, right? They were number 1 or number 2 for a while, right? If you take a look, instead of considering Anderson, I would suggest you consider Dan Burn in that spot. Go, like when this stream is done, go take a look at the Newcastle and Senesi rotation and then see if that's better than the Fulham one. Because if I had transfers and I was picking a player to rotate with him from now till the end, it would be a Newcastle defender. So just think about it.
Yeah, we'll do it, mate.
That's why I went Petrovic and Pope.
a few joke questions, lads. So Anderson, captain, would Darius answer this in one question? You had to bring one player in. This is Suram Combe. Dallo or Anderson? Who would it be?
It's Dallo.
Dallo. All right. Okay. All right.
Good attacking upside. He will get an assist every now and again.
Yeah. Who asked that question?
That's Combe.
Combe, he's a very engaged manager. You know why he's asking this is because like there's a very good fixture run where Bournemouth have bad fixtures. After 17, it's like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Very bad for Bournemouth. And you know what's perfect? Man United have the perfect fixtures, like Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. So he's thinking far ahead. And he's probably asking this question thinking, okay, like Dallow's going to be playing wing back because Ahmad and Mbeumo are gone. So the minutes are going to be perfect. This is like a very, very good differential. I'm definitely going to consider him for my team too.
Okay. All right. Last question, I think, is one I saw up here. What defensive formation will score more this season? This is 17 again. 4 at the back or 3 at the back? I'm going to say it's a difficult question because it's not like you play different formations different weeks. It's not like a fixed question, is it? But I'm going to guess it's going to be 4 at the back based on the DEFCON things we looked at earlier. Would you agree, Kanji?
Wait, what is the question? Like, which formation scores the most?
Yeah, but the only way I can actually answer that is to think if they put the best 4 defenders in versus the best, the best back 4 versus midfield 3 and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? I reckon it will probably be defenders.
Yeah. There's too much value in the defense, but like at the end of the season, it'll always be like Salah, Palmer, Saka. You know what it's gonna be, right? But yeah, I think like back 3. I know it sounds weird given how many points are in defense, but back 3.
Okay, Darius.
I think it all depends on the other formation. Literally, I actually think that the best policy is just to play either 5-4-1 or 4-5-1 every week and just ditch the other 2 forward spots. I think that's actually at some point I've gone half in because I've now got rid of a 3rd forward spot for Mark Gui. And I just think that at some point I might actually ditch the other one as well because just based on the value this year, the forwards are just not worth it. And I think that the value and the points are all congregated primarily in defence and midfield. So why would you want to pick an extra forward to soak up one of those spots every week?
Yeah. So what you need is like you need to have like a second forward that isn't strong. Like that's what I believe. I believe the second forward you pick should not be strong, which is why I know I recommended to Gary to sell it, but he's not listening at the moment. But like, I think if you have a striker that you don't like Thiago, he gives you very easy weeks to bench. Perfect. You can see in a schedule, okay, 14 Arsenal bench, Spurs bench, United bench. Like it's very easy. So like you can devalue it and then switch formations very easily. But if you go to like 2 dead spots, then you have like just lack of rotation, and then you're really reliant on the defense. That's the difference, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I just felt like if you could have if you do with the 2 dead spots forward, obviously you are a little bit reliant on Haaland just staying fit, because if he doesn't, then you're really going to have to do some moving around. But with the rest, though, you're literally going to have 10 really good players that you'll want to play every single week. So then it's just, you're always going to have a really good first bench that's a midfielder or a defender. And I don't think it matters about the other 2. The only problem is if Haaland gets injured, your team's you're gonna have so much money to spend.
Lads,
that's true.
I want to wrap up. I'm sorry if I've not been on my best. I didn't get home until like 2 in the morning last night from Juice because of travel issues and stuff, and I had to get up really early for work, so my brain is not 100% with it. But Kanji, it's been great having you on again, mate.
Thanks for having me. I'm just really glad that the first time went well enough that I did okay, that I could be brought back on, and it's like the perfect week for me to come out here and just be the most controversial manager. So I'm glad to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
And you'll be on again in a few weeks with, I can't remember when it's now, but with FPL Nightmare and sometime.
Yes.
Not next week, in a few weeks.
Yes, he added me to his like nightmares. What's the league called? Nightmares, Dreamers, or something,
Dreamers,
or whatever.
Yeah. You're above me, you bastard.
He added me in, and I came in above Gary just to take him 1 notch lower. You know.
I was nearly in the top 5. Do you want to give the quick plug for the Form is Temporary podcast? I mean. What's going on with you guys?
Like
a few episodes,
that's a really controversial thing. Yeah. So Roberto just messaged me, so I don't want to say anything, but like hopefully we'll be able to pod maybe next week on the Form is Temporary. So we've been podding on YouTube. So if you're interested and you enjoyed my content, or you think that I'm a crazy guy and I'm terrible, then don't tune in. But otherwise, I'll be on YouTube on the Form is Temporary.
Yep. And you can find links to the Form is Temporary in the description below. Darius, we all know where you are, but give us a plug anyway. Tell us what you're up to.
This weekend, unfortunately, folks, there will be no deadline stream this week, and there won't be any Saturday watch-alongs because I am in Perth, but I will be back in time for the Sunday night watch-along, and there's 4 games live at 2 p.m. on Sunday, so I'll be covering all of them, and I'll be doing the Haaland blank versus Liverpool as well, so we'll have that all live on the Sunday, and hopefully this is the week where I'm sitting there going, my captaincy has absolutely slaughtered the sheep. Hopefully this week the shepherd comes in.
Yep. Please do join me for the FPL lock-in at 7:30, 7:40-ish on Saturday. There's no Darius this week, obviously, because he's in Perth, and Trig is on his chess visits. So it may be joined by Shane, although he's yet to confirm. Otherwise, it may be a rare solo stream, but I will be here some way, somehow. We will be here. And yeah, cheers everyone for joining. Please do like and subscribe if you're new around here. Cheers, lads. It's been good fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know what you should do really quickly? Instead of doing Saturday, is just do it on Sunday, post the 2 p.m. fixture.
You should. Like a knee-jerk stream.
Maybe, I think.
Yeah, like before the Liverpool City game, right there, I'll join you.
Bro, it's like the biggest game. Bro, it's like the biggest game of the season. Liverpool, Man City. Oh my God, I can't wait.
A quick half an hour reaction stream in between. Perfect. Exactly what people want.
Anyway, see you all soon. Have a good game week 11. Cheers, everyone.
See you guys.